he is basically in a nutshell saying he's just not ready. He's not ready to commit. And so you made a very big commitment and you arrived to that station. How did you know you were ready?
That's a good question, Rhonda. Uh, was living a life of running around. It's funny that we were talking about
Yeah,
hoeing.
you was hoeing.
Some people might have described it in that manner. Others might say that I
You were a
was
single
ready,
man.
just snacking.
Oh, others might describe it like that. Got it.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
was. But for me, it's just I use the cliche a lot. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. It's like when you are in my situation, you're having sex with people, you're dating, but just like the feeling, the excitement that you used to feel at one
Yeah.
point from doing all those things, it just isn't fulfilling anymore.
Yeah.
And it's not satisfying at all.
Mm-hmm.
And you realize that this isn't something that I ultimately want for my life and long term. So then it starts to get your mind going into a different direction and on a different path.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I agree with you. And I think another thing is like when you really just start thinking about being committed more, like you just notice that it's a thought that pops up. You almost daydream about it, or you place yourself in that scenario. Like, I wonder what type of wife I would be, or what type of husband I would be. When your mind just starts to think like that, or you find yourself like looking at people who do have that, and you feel aspirational when you look at them. Like, you don't feel detached from it. You actually feel connected to that, even though you don't have it. You're looking at it like, damn, that seems so cool. That seems so dope. And I think that when you do that, and then you also do whatever research you need to do, whether that's you're reading biblically why marriage and partnership is beneficial, or you're talking to the elders in your family about why they're married or what made it work, and you start to really learn that like marriage or commitment is beneficial to your life and it can improve your overall life and your well-being. I think when you really start to see it as something that will positively impact your life, I think those are kind of some early signs that you might be ready for it, or you might be thinking about getting ready for it. Because I think there's thinking you're ready and actually doing some work to prepare yourself, because there's some real physical tangible things that you have to do, which, depending on how old you are, because a lot of this depends on that. But I do think when you think about, like, as a woman, if we're talking about in the traditional sense, getting ready for partnership, it does have to like put you in this mindset of sacrifice, and like, are you willing to share or give up certain things that you get to do the way that you want to do them, when you want to do them, and like how you do them. If you are willing to be flexible, if your mindset is already like, I'm ready to meet someone, but I'm also ready to, they like, if they want to move, I'm open to that. Or if they live in a bigger house, I'm open to possibly selling my condo or moving out of my apartment. If you start to kind of think about what things you're willing to compromise, and not things that challenge your integrity or your fundamentals, but just like things that are generally tangible or things that are very flexible. If you're preparing yourself, like, you know what, I think about blending my life and I'm ready to do that, or I'm ready to serve, because I do think partnership is also about service. And I think sometimes we struggle with that. Both, but definitely women, like this, even the term service, like, I am here to serve you. It doesn't mean that you're there to be a peasant or a slave to someone. It just means that I am here to give you as much of what you want and need as possible. And to me, that is service. You go somewhere, you want customer service. They're not coming and groveling at your feet like, here's your burger, sir. No, but they are bringing your food to you. They're coming and asking you how it is. They are refilling your coffee or refilling your drink. That is a service mindset, and
Yeah.
the same is necessary in, I don't know if y'all can hear that. Oh, Jesus, the skies is opening, Lord.
It is.
But I think that also is a telltale sign that you're
Yeah.
ready for partnership, when you're ready to serve.
Yeah. I agree with you. And I think it starts with the goal and vision that you have for your life, right? I ultimately believe, like, when I made the decision, that's where it started for me. Then it came down to, okay, with the vision and the goal that I ultimately have for my life, I know that I want to be married at some point. I know when I have kids, I want to have kids in marriage and all these different things. I know that I want to have a partner to go through my life with.
Yeah.
So then I start to look at the different things I want to accomplish and look at the life that I'm living currently
Yeah.
and saying, how does what I'm doing now match up to the vision that I have for my life? And I think that that's what starts to prompt the change. So then you start to look at, oh, the sex that I'm having, I can have this with the person that I actually love, but then this person doesn't have to leave, or this person might not be out there with somebody else. And I'm thinking about that.
Right.
Like, I can actually get this moment that I'm having with this person that I don't have a committed relationship with,
Yeah.
but then also get all the other benefits with it as well.
Right.
So you start to, be in that mindset and that mood, and that's what starts to prompt that change.
Yeah. For sure. And I think there's also a part of it that what you call like covering. And to me, covering is like support and encouragement and the spirit of holding the person down. And I know sometimes those terms or those phrases, ride or die, holding someone down, especially for women, sometimes we struggle with that because even me, like I've been in situations where I was holding someone down and then I got the short end of the stick. I never got the reward for holding them down. But when you're with the right person, that's a spirit that goes both ways. You both are committed to, if it all goes down, if you can't hold up your arms, I'm here to fight for you. I'm here to fight with you. If you get sick, I'm going to take care of you. If you lose your job, I'm going to figure out how we can pay these bills. If your car gets totaled, I'm going to figure out how we can get you another one, or we going to share you know what I mean? It's that like covering and being prepared to like, again, like do life together, like pray for, create a spiritual life with someone, like go to God about your relationship. I think all of those things, if you're thinking about that, to me, that says like you're ready. You really are ready. You just need the person, and you need to find a person that has that same mindset. But so many people get in relationships without even half of those things that we just talked about. They're just getting in a commitment and then going down the aisle before God and saying, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, without actually like going to God about it first and foremost before you do it. But like just considering the fact that this is not just based on how I see you, like you cute, the sex is great, and you seem to be able to take care of yourself. Like that is what a lot of people anchor a lifetime of partnership on. Like, you attractive. And we've been getting along for the last 6 months, for the last 12 months. And, things been cool, not considering any of these things. So yeah, I do think it takes a lot, if you will, to be ready. But once you are ready and you do it right, i.e. like you, it's one of the best things that's ever happened to you. It's one of the best things that's ever happened to you.
It is, but I want to also clarify too what commitment actually is, and it can come a lot of different forms, in the sense of like that desire that you have for singleness or for somebody else outside of that commitment. But when I say the juice isn't worth the squeeze, what I mean by that is that when you're committed, you may still desire juice or like want juice, right? But you're saying that the effort, the things that it would take for me to have that juice just isn't worth it.
Right.
It's like how many of us want $1 million? We all would love $1 million and desire that. But if I say you had to rob a bank to do it, you'll look at the risk and all the things that come with it and say, it's not worth that for $1 million. And that's what happens in commitment. I feel like some people make this false thing to where it's like, oh, you don't look at people anymore, or no, you still look, and you may see something like, man, he or she look good. Like, man, back in the day, if I was, but you look at the situation and you're like, for me to go down that path and mess up the thing that I have, it's not worth it.
It's not.
And then that is the thing that lowers the desire that you truly have, is the risk of losing the thing that you ultimately love and know you want it. Not that it being present you just go blind as a man or a woman, or you
Yeah.
just won't love that anymore or anything like that. And
Nope.
then
Your
second,
eyes aren't gouged out.
they are not. And the second thing I feel like is important too is it takes time. You can make the decision in your mind you're going to do something, but
Mm-hmm.
for it to actually happen could take months, maybe even a year. Like I
Yeah.
remember when I said I was ready to be committed and I didn't want to have sex until marriage.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many times I slipped up before I actually made it to the point to where I actually was like, this is what I'm going to do.
Sure.
I even like my man in this situation. I can break it down because I've been him. I've been the man. I've been him. I sent that text and I can tell you what I meant when I said it. But it's like I have gotten into a relationship because I thought I was ready. It wasn't trying to play. It wasn't trying to be a bad dude. I thought in the moment when I committed to the girl that I was ready for commitment.
Yeah.
But then when I got in the situation, I
was like,
realized
Psych.
I ain't ready.
Yeah.
And that's, some people just have to learn in that way, and it sucks. And I've had the chance to apologize to my ex for that, for this. But sometimes you are a casualty of somebody's learning experience.
That's right.
Live life long enough, it'll happen to everyone. You'll
right.
end up being a casualty in somebody's journey of learning and experiencing life. It sucks,
Yeah.
but it's just a reality for all of us. I know you have.
Absolutely.
Like,
On both sides of it.
Yeah, on both
I've
sides
had
of
to
it.
hurt people's feelings, and I've certainly
To
had
learn and
mine.
grow from that.
Absolutely. I mean, human life, there's so many things, right? Books, videos that you can read and try to figure out how to do life, and don't do this and do that and da 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 da. But this is a total experiment. Like, lived life is a total experiment. You are in many ways learning on the job, and the thing that makes you a person of integrity or not is if you truly take those lessons and you do better. When you learn something, the idea is that you'll do better. But sometimes, yes, you're gonna have to learn by falling. Like when you were raised, it's like I'm sure your dad or your stepdad, like, you had to fall a few times off that bike to learn how to hold your balance. If I held you the entire time, you would never learn how to balance yourself out. So yes, we do have to fail, but we want to fail forward always. We never want to fail backwards. We never want to just keep repeating the same lessons over and over and over again.
Exactly.
So absolutely, you will be a casualty in someone's story, and you may very well create casualties in someone's.
Riding
You know
that
what I mean?
bike, you might hit somebody's mailbox, knock it over.
Listen,
that wasn't your intention,
you
but
might
that's part
scuff
of
your knee,
Yeah, it's
break
part of
your
your
elbow.
journey. It's part of their journey. It's like it's a part of life, and I've experienced that, and I know it's very possible that you're dealing in this situation with a good dude. He thought he was ready, but then he realized, like, maybe after being in the situation, like, yeah, I'm not as ready as I thought I was.
Yeah.
And people do it for a lot of different reasons. Like,
Yeah.
I committed one time because I thought she was great, amazing. I can see all that. And I didn't want to let her go. Like,
Yeah.
let anybody else get a chance at that.
Yeah.
And that's not a great reason to commit, right? Because it's like, am I doing it because I really want to do it? Or am I doing it just to try to close her off to anybody else?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's all these different reasons of how it could happen. But you'll know, like, when you are ready for sure, like, it won't be a question that you have to ask yourself. You'll know, like, okay, I'm tired of how things were going. I'm in the mindset now. I'm truly committed and intentionally living my life to be in something committed and serious. Now, does that mean it's going to happen immediately for you just because you're in the mindset? Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. But it's still just getting in that frame of mind, and you operate different. Rhonda will tell you date different, you talk to people different, you ask different questions, you evaluate different, because one thing you ain't trying to do when you searching for commitment is waste your time.
Ooh, Jesus. Yep.
Rhonda like, yes. Yep.